What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some more news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson says that Usyk is a middleweight. I'll put my fists right through him. The WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury is confident that he would topple Usyk, who holds the rest of the titles. Last Saturday, Usyk retained his titles by defending them, of course, against Anthony Joshua. And Usyk is by far the smaller man, and Fury still regards him as a smaller fighter who moved up in weight. He said, I could beat Usyk 1 week of training because he's a middleweight. I'll put my fists right through him. When Usyk was an amateur boxer sucking his mother's nipples, I was a British heavyweight champion, Tyson Fury told Talk Sports. He was about 75 kilograms, which is 165 pounds, as an amateur. 75 kilograms? This is why I call him a middleweight. I've never said it won't be easy work. All this pound for pound legend nonsense, I don't rate him. Wow. Fury also takes aim at Joshua, but of course, that is another issue. But what he did also say about Usyk, he said, I have no real interest in Usyk. Some man that nobody can really say his name, a pumped up middleweight. It's not my fault he's gone and battered AJ for some bodybuilder. It's not my fault that happened twice in a row, Fury said. There has only ever been me. They try to compete, but they get beat. Bars. There's no disrespect to Joshua, but at top level, world-class boxing, he just can't cut it. Those are the words of Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Let me counterpunch. First off, I think Tyson is talking a lot of smack. He's saying a lot of this. He's saying a lot of that. Bars. I think, honestly, when you're dealing with Tyson, he's trying to remove himself from the equation of ever having to fight him. But he's doing that by saying insults. And he's saying that, like, hey, when these guys, when they come to compete, they get beat and all this, that, and the other. But I'm like, well, that's all well and good. I get some fights don't happen because of defeat. But if these fights don't happen because of defeat, why don't you fight the guys that defeated them? There is no avenge element in Tyson Fury that I could see. He talks as though he had to come and do everything Anthony Joshua undid. Okay, you know what I mean? It's almost like, well, I have to avenge him. I have to do this for them, for like, you know, I had to take it from Klitschko and Joshua gave it up to Andy. Then I had to get it back. Then he gave it up to Usyk. Then I'd had to get it back from Usyk. It would be different if he had that formation in his career, but he doesn't. All Tyson Fury does is talking smack about someone he's never fought. In fact, he's talking smack about someone that got beat that he's never fought, and the people that won and beat him, he never fought them either. So we have a series of fighters, and it's only two, okay? It's two fighters, Andy Ruiz, Oleksandr, Usyk. They have beat Anthony Joshua. Then you have Anthony Joshua. He's never fought none of those guys. None of them. I mean, the trash talk is entertaining, but at the end of the day, it's like, what does it all really mean? Is it build up for a fight that will happen, or is it just Tyson Fury talking out the side of his mouth? Let's hope it's the first option, because if he's a middleweight and he's that easy, and it's weird, he said, let's see. He said, I've never said it won't be easy work. All this pound for pound legend nonsense, I don't rate him. That could have been a typo, maybe. I'm not sure. But him saying, I've never said it won't be easy work. Well, obviously, if you can beat him on 1 week of training, obviously it is easy work. So maybe that was from whoever made this article. So this was from Boxing Scene, okay? But maybe that said, you know, I've always said he was easy work. You know, because it wouldn't make sense for him saying I could beat Usyk in 1 week of training. Why would you want to do that? Because what if Usyk beats you? Then the first thing you're going to say is, "Hey, I only had 1 week of training." You know, I mean, and see, there's always excuses for certain things. Like, yeah, he got dropped in the Wilder fight 2 times in the third fight. And it was damage control. Like, oh, I couldn't train because I had to go to the hospital. But, well, that wasn't even the narrative. Why lie about it? Because as far as we knew, he had a whole extra month to train with because of COVID, right? So he was training. So he had COVID. Then he had the issue with his daughter, his baby. Then the fight happened. And the whole thing was, hey, I didn't, and then after the fight was over, I didn't have enough training. Well, you said you were in top shape. You never been in the best shape of your life. Those type of things. So it's always some type of controversy when you're dealing with Fury as regards to how he trains and for what reason. You know, but yes, Usyk a long time ago was a middleweight. He was. And, you know, as an amateur. But understand, Usyk is older than Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury talks about Usyk like he's a child. Dude, Usyk is 2 years older than you. He's 35, right? Or 36, isn't it? He's older than Tyson. So, you know, him saying all that, I hope all this trash talk is not in vain. I hope it's some type of reasoning behind it. And I hope he goes in there and does exactly what he said he's going to do. Okay? And saying this, if this fight does happen, based on what Tyson Fury had to say, if he goes in there and he defeats Usyk, but he has a hard time doing it, that means that he wasn't that easy now, was it? That means that he was a formidable opponent. That means that he did give Tyson Fury a challenge. You know what I mean? That he made Tyson work. And I'm not really impressed because I don't believe any of that. I just think this is trash talk because this is what Tyson Fury does. I think he's trying to build enough verbal attacks to Team Usyk that it will do a number like Vladimir did, because Vladimir kind of got rattled by the things that Tyson Fury said because he said so much of it. You know what I mean? So I think that's what he's trying to do, but none of that matters, people, if he doesn't get in the ring. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Tyson Fury's latest attack upon Oleksandr Usyk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!